people don't know, both teams have a lease on the new stadium on the land that it's on. After 15 years, either team can opt out of the stadium and go play somewhere else. If that happens, your PSLs are worth absolutely nothing. They're worthless. And every 2 years after that, they have the right in which to do that. So I started thinking about what was I so upset about the PSL? And as a consumer, you usually want to get something in return for your money. If I'm going to pay $10,000 for my PSL, what am I getting? What are my benefits? There weren't any. You still have to buy the same tickets to the same games and sit in the same seats. Great, I have a great new scoreboard that I can look at, but I'm still sitting in the same seat. So I started thinking of ideas. And I posted them on a website, as you see, PSLrally.com. And I said to the fans out there and to anybody that was listening, come up with other ideas we can present to the teams. The first thing was freeze ticket prices for the next 5 years. Every year, I don't know if you guys dread it, but I dread it when I get that letter in the mail. And the letter is the annual renewal of your season tickets. You have to turn to your spouse and you have to say, how much extra is it this year? How much did they get me? An extra $10, an extra $5. Commit to the fans right now that you will not raise ticket prices for next season, the last season in Giant Stadium, and hold ticket prices for the first 5 years of the new stadium at the levels that you're proposing now. At least give the fans cost certainty that I know that parking and tickets will be the same exact price. Who's to say that my ticket, which is $80 now, that'll be $120 2 years from now? Who's to say you can't raise it to $200, $300 in a couple years, and then I have a PSL and tickets I can't afford? To me, it's a nice gesture for the teams to be committed to their fans. The next thing I came up with was, why can't the PSL holders be entitled to rights to pre-purchase tickets to other events to the stadium? Why can't we go online one day before all of the rest of the public, the general public, and when Springsteen plays here, the PSL holders got the first shot at those tickets? I heard John Mara on the radio said, that idea won't fly because I have deals with promoters, I need to give them tickets, etc. I would say to Mr. Johnson and Mr. Mara, you are the owners of this stadium. You can tell the promoters anything that you want. And if the promoters want 500 tickets or 1,000 tickets for their friends, so be it. But let the 1,001st ticket go to a PSL holder. Give me the chance to have floor seats at Springsteen as opposed to the upper deck when you have to fight through Ticketmaster, etc. It costs no money for anybody at all, and it's a nice benefit to have for the PSL holders. And the last thing quickly was, let's do something about paying for preseason games. When I started in 1993 as a season ticket holder, and I remember receiving a letter from Leon Hess after the first season. I don't know if you guys got the same letter. The personal letter from Leon Hess, owner of the Jets, said he will not raise ticket prices one dime until his team can prove that they can make the playoffs. We did not have to pay for preseason games back then. And to me, it's a nice gesture for the teams to go back to that policy, make the purchase of preseason games optional and not mandatory. I went to the game last week. I saw Brett Favre play 2 series. I paid full price for my tickets. To me, when you're going to be charging $120, $400, $500, $700 a ticket to see the starters play for one quarter, it's just not fair. Put those tickets up for sale to the general public. If the tickets don't sell, donate the tickets to charitable organizations so that underprivileged children can get to see an NFL game that definitely they will not be able to afford when that new stadium opens. I also suggested that the 2 teams lobby the lawmakers in Trenton so that the initial cost of the PSL should be tax deductible on our state income taxes. I added a caveat, which is if you ever sell the PSL, that income, that would be fully taxed income, so that protect the true and the loyal fans who have to pay, and let it be a deduction off of our state income taxes. And something else, which was the smallest thing in the world, but it meant something to me. Let me bring a thermos of hot chocolate into the stadium instead of waiting online for watered-down hot chocolate. It seems like the most minor thing at all, but to somebody like myself, hey, I want to watch the game. I want to bring in a thermos. And when the tragedy of 9/11 happened, the rules on bringing stuff into the stadium stadium change. You could no longer bring in thermoses, you could no longer bring in food, and now with the security in place, it's understandable. Check my bag, check everything, but throw me a bone and let me bring a thermos of hot chocolate into the stadium. And the last thing I came up with was to completely revamp the PSL system. The idea I came up with tailored the plan similar to what the Dallas Cowboys have done, which is to put PSLs on only the best seats in the house. If you're going to be charging $400, $500, and $700 a ticket, to me, what you're saying is that these tickets are for corporations only and not for the regular fan. If what you're saying is that, and that is your philosophy, increase the PSLs on those tickets alone. Let the corporations shoulder the burden of the PSLs. Charge $100,000 on the PSLs in the Coaches Club area. The Coaches Club area's tickets will be $700 a ticket. Charge $100,000 for those PSLs. Charge PSLs on the mezzanine sections that are $400 and $500 a ticket. Raise those PSLs to $20 grand. That alone, you'll have PSLs on only 11,000 seats in the stadium. You'll raise more revenue than what your current plan is, and 67,000 people will not need to have PSLs on their tickets. But the plan isn't that way. It spreads the burden so that the average PSL right now is $5,000 a ticket on the average Giant season ticket holder. So if I'm going to take one thing with you when you take it back to your families, is charging 10 times the average of every NFL team fair to the fans of the Jets and the Giants without any benefit at all. This is not an investment for the true and loyal fans of the teams. This is a payment for the right to stay on it. I received emails from fans 61 years with the Giants. Guy had season tickets since 1947. Paid 25 cents a ticket to go to the Polo Grounds. Couldn't afford the tickets, but he hoped that they'd come to New Jersey one day, so he'd pay it and find a way to pay it. So on a fixed income now, he has to give up his tickets. He can no longer see his team, the one thing he has going on. And I have tens and 20 emails from fans just like that are pouring their heart out to me, sending me letters they sent to John Mara, saying, please don't do this. I've had season tickets for over 50 years. Is this a way to treat your best fans that were with you from the beginning? The answer is no. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to invite everybody else to come up that wants to speak here today to be heard. We're videotaping all of the speeches. I'm putting a compilation together that will be sent to the teams with all the ideas from all of the fans for their consideration. The hope is that the Jets will take some of the ideas into consideration when they roll their plan out, include some benefits, reduce the cost of the PSLs, something so that this will have an impact on what the Jets are doing. And then to John Mara and Mr. Tisch, rethink your policy. Add benefits to the PSL holders. I got an email that yesterday for that same ticket holder, the invoice was $16,000, which was a 20% down payment that was due. That's 2 years before the stadium opens, and they want 20% down. They're happy that they tell you they can't get construction financing from any other way, but we've made arrangements with all these other lending institutions so that you can take a loan out to pay for your PSL. Is their credit rating better than yours and mine? I think so. They can get construction financing from the normal way, but they do not need to get construction financing on the backs of the most true and loyal fans out there. So let your voices be heard, and I invite everybody else to come up and speak. Thank you very much for your time and attention.